What does hospitality mean to you?
Wow. First of all, it means a lot. Otherwise, I wouldn't be working for the hospitality industry. Obviously, it does mean welcome, shelter, the capacity to have people with us in good and bad times. Maybe my answer would have been different pre-COVID, but after COVID, we really went through a shelter experience where we also welcome within our hotels, with the support of our owners, over 1 million fragile people, women victims of violence, homeless people, students with no more revenue. So hospitality is really about this very specific, unique skill and capacity to welcome people in good and also bad times.
I love that. If you think back over the past couple of months, is there a hospitality experience you received that stands out to you? And I'm curious, always curious of people's stories. Anything come to mind?
I guess I would say two, personal and professional one. The personal was my trip to Sofitel legend, Old Cataract. I stand in the suite of Agatha Christie where she wrote Death on the Nile. And I had breakfast in the morning in a feluc on the Nile. I slept in the suite of Agatha Christie, and in the evening, I attended the night show in Philae Temple. So you've got so many emotions and so many experiences within one single day. Sofitel legend, Old Cataract in Egypt, in Aswan. This is where the real magic of hospitality happens, because it's not just a stay, it's you creating memories and emotion.
It sounded like there was something about the history too. Did that make the experience more exciting for you?
Yeah, because you're living in a place which has a story to tell, and it's not transactional. You're not even there to sleep or just eat breakfast and scrambled eggs. You're here to just connect yourself to a part of history, and being in such an historical landmark. Not only Agatha Christie went there, but also Winston Churchill and François Mitterrand and so many famous people. And the building is full of details and anecdotes, and the staff is so proud to share them with you. So yes, it's wonderful. The second great experience I had was on the professional level, because Egypt was a personal stay. I had the opportunity to gather all my GMs all around the world, all my general managers under Sofitel Legend, MGallery and Emblems umbrella, together last mid-November in Dubai for our very first brand convention. We also had all the development communities, and we shared the ambitions, the vision of our brands. And to me, a good brand needs to be three things. It needs to be clear and understood. We have so many brands within the hospitality industry. Why should we pick this one instead of another one? So clear and understood. It has to be inspirational, so we need to elevate the promise. And it has to be consistent. No matter where you stay in a Sofitel, in MGallery in the world, you need to find the same zest, the same service, the same culture. So we were all together during 2 days and a half, and it was a kind of magic, because hospitality is a people industry. Our first richness is people. And I had a kind of army of passionate hoteliers really getting together, proud to serve the same vision. And it was probably one of the best moments of my career so far.
That's exciting, especially when you're gathering hospitality providers. This is the business they're in, but it's important to feel the magic of hospitality. If you're going to provide it, you have to experience it yourself.
Yeah, oh, sure. You have to walk the talk. And therefore, I've been traveling all the time, all day long last year. Long story short, I think my new role went into 3 phases. I took over this new luxury role 1 year ago. So phase 1 was mostly consisting into traveling all around the world, meeting the owners, meeting the GMs, assessing the products, feeling the brand in each market. And each market, you need to be culturally relevant. So each product is different, and the brand positioning may not be the same. Phase 2 was coming back home, being fed by all these trips, all these listenings, all these observations, and then started crafting the vision. At the end of phase 2, we revealed the ambition during the convention I was mentioning earlier. And now we are into literally phase 3, consisting into execution, implementing the vision everywhere at a global level, but at the same time being culturally relevant. So yes, especially in the hospitality industry, if you don't spend your life in the field where the experience truly happens, you definitely are missing something.
Are there things that stood out to you that you recall being maybe somewhat surprising as you were on this listening tour?
Surprising for sure on the cultural differences. You learn. I mean, traveling is a constant humility school. You learn so much because you think you know, but you don't. So travel and hospitality are a massive level of humility if needed, because you learn and you also change your mind and prejudice very often. Surprising and also very touching things. Each time I'm traveling, especially in Sofitel, there is this kind of culture we do call cause humain. Cause humain consists into creating for each guest personalized, tailor-made attention, really according to the guest preferences we will have picked up during a conversation. Those might be little things, but our Sofitel people are truly obsessed with crafting the most relevant cause humain for our clients. And when you feel the passion of our staff for this brand, you just go home with the immense duty and responsibility to owe them to elevate the brand and make it shine more than ever. So this is really touching. Another touching stuff is the story of the building, especially we were mentioning Sofitel Legend historical buildings and landmarks. Sofitel Legend in Hanoi used to be the first place where the first movie was projected in Indochine. Sofitel Legend Panama, I just opened it last March for 2023. It's been built on a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So the entire building is like stunning. And then the MGallery collection, which is a collection of boutique hotel, maximum 150 keys. Each hotel is a destination. So some MGallery may be garage, coffee house, tea farm, a police station. Can you believe it? We converted a police station into MGallery. The Sofitel Port House in Sydney used to be a tannery. So you're going to see tributes to leather know-how everywhere. Even in the cocktails recipes, you have a touch of leather. Can you believe it or not? And I just opened last October in the south of Paris, in Issy-les-Moulineaux, MGallery La Reine Margot, which used to be a monastery and the shelter of the Queen Marguerite de Valois and Margot, who used to be as beautiful as educated. And the place has a chapel with 72 statues. And if they could speak, they would have so much to tell. So, you know, surprises, lessons to learn, humility is cool, and also a lots of moving stuff. And each time you come back, you're just thinking, me as the CEO of this brand, I just want to deliver the best I can because I owe them the best.
I wonder if we could talk a little bit more about MGallery, because as a traveler, these seem extraordinary destinations. I want to visit them all. But
please.
From a business perspective, I'm really curious. I'm hearing more and more talk of groups of independent hotels and providing support on a brand level. Having a collection of lifestyle independent hotels can be an interesting business. I'm curious for you, what are the business opportunities, or where does this get exciting from a business perspective to have a collection like MGallery?
Well, you know, I think MGallery collection is meeting a very deep need from our guests for authentic, different experiences. Of course, our guests may feel reassured by strong standards, no matter where they travel. By the way, we don't have the same Sofitel all around the world. The Sofitel in Barcelona will be a tribute to Catalonian architecture. I was in Sofitel, Mexico for the shooting of our Sofitel 60th anniversary movie 2 weeks ago. And the Sofitel Mexico is full of tributes to Mexican artifacts. But Sofitel does have standards, which are also part of the brand promise. With a collection, you do meet something which is a bit different within our hospitality industry. And it's good because you need to meet different needs of our guests. A collection allows you to gather, and we have already 120 MGallery all around the world, to gather different destinations, each being unique. So MGallery is really meeting the need for a more intimate, exclusive, homey hospitality not more than 150 keys, so you don't have groups, it's not overcrowded. You don't need huge public spaces, but each time you're getting in an MGallery, you will have the promise of a meaningful / memorable moment, because each time you are getting and discovering an MGallery, the staff is trained to tell you the story of the place, of the Episcopal Palace, of the police station, of the garage, of the tannery. And people are really looking for those two things, more intimacy and exclusivity, and something which is really a local, deeply anchored, local rooted experience. And I need to understand each time I'm staying in the MGallery, the different story of the place. And we are going to launch our new MGallery brand campaign. And guess what? The theme of the campaign is the collectionist. We want to create not just fans of MGallery. We do already have many fans. The brand love of MGallery is very high. We do want to create a collectionist community. Like, you want to collect all the 120 MGallery all around the world, because no matter where you're going to stay, you know that you will find the modern twist, mixology experience, the memorable moment attached to the story of the building, which is in each case different. And something about mindfulness, and also a very committed brand, because I do strongly believe that luxury should be sustainable or won't last at all. And so we have also, for Sofitel, but also for MGallery, a very deep, meaningful dimension with giving back to communities. So it's a very inspirational collection. Each time you are opening a door, you are discovering a different gem. And people want to discover different things.
It seems compelling, but also extraordinarily hard as CEO overseeing such a diverse collection. You ran through a list of things that people can expect as they're visiting these different locations. But as you're running this business, you're thinking about structuring the collection. What do you think about keeping the same from a business perspective, or maybe a brand standards perspective? Consistency.
Paradoxically, even for a collection, you need some consistency. Again, back to what I said earlier, a brand, to me, to be successful, needs to be clear and understood, inspirational and consistent. I.e., leading a collection doesn't mean that you say yes to any new lead. By the way, most of the time I say no. As a CEO of the brands at a worldwide level, I'm not only in charge of the operational performance of the existing network, I'm also validating each new MGallery or each new Sofitel legend. So we collectively sit with my teams and we review whether or not this hotel could pretend to become an MGallery.
What's one that you've said, no, this can't be?
So we need some charm, some character, we need a story. So obviously, most of our MGallery are going to be conversions. And if it's a new building, you'd better be super good to convincing me, because honestly, I need something, I need a story. Second, there is this huge need for modern twists, so design. It needs to be inspirational in the design, in the way the furniture, the hotel in itself is decorated. And if it's not, if it's a very classical, standard, it's okay hotel, it's never going to be an MGallery. Mixology expertise within the F&B promise is really deeply anchored in the MGallery promise, and the memorable moment is part of the story to tell. If you go to Vietnam, which has already 7 MGallery, and they are all pure gems performing super well, the Hôtel des Arts in Saigon is full of art pieces. And the GM or the staff will take you through all the art pieces until up to the rooftop for the final exhibit. This is what you're going to get. And then committed to her and giving back to local communities is the sustainable dimension of MGallery. These places exist only because they used to be something else before. So somehow they owe their neighborhood what they are today. So they need to give back. And I love the idea of shifting our industry from a rather predatory perception to something which is more about giving back, which is not that usual. So yes, even for a collection, we have standards, at least criteria, which make us decide whether or not a hotel can become an MGallery.
You see the world as CEO from so many different levels. What excites you most as you look into the future?
2 things. First of all, luxury is to me an attitude. No matter where you stay, you can be in the most beautiful place with marble and gold everywhere. If you don't feel something very specific around the emotion and the attitude, the service. It's not luxury. So very often people are asking me, what is going to be your greatest KPI of success within 3 years? And my answer does never change. My answer is always, I think I will have succeeded whether I manage to create around my 4 beautiful brands, a real recognizable culture. Because luxury is an attitude. So I'm super excited about crafting and having designed a very strong training program for all my GMs and all my people about our leadership style, our culture, the values we want to cascade everywhere within our luxury hotels with Sofitel, Sofitel Legend, MGallery, and Emblems.
How do you define culture?
Culture being the way you interact with people, should it be guests, owners, staff, the way you embrace life and the core values which are yours. And if you want me to share with you my 3 core leadership principles, it's humble excellence. You need to be overperforming, but remaining humble. It's distinguished presence. I do believe luxury is a kind of effortless chic. It should not show off. I'm a strong believer in quiet luxury, but it has to be elegant. And last but not least, I'm a strong believer in emotional intelligence. We are here to create memories, emotions. So we don't want a rigid, cold luxury. We want something which is allowing our staff to create something which our guests will remember, back to Kuzuma. So really culture. And the second challenge I'm super excited about is pushing luxury segment to be a pioneer on CSR. We have money, we have power. I'm in charge of over 215 hotels all around the world. If I'm not the one leading the way of the future of hospitality, who is going to be that? Who is going to do that? So I think we have on the luxury segment the deep duty of leading the way of a sustainable, committed hospitality. So long story short, this started already when I was in charge of Southern Europe, but it became even stronger with my luxury roadmap. We are getting rid of any single-use plastic item in our hotels. We are eco-certifying each of our luxury hotels, and I already eco-certified 40% of my network. We are measuring food waste and fighting against food waste with a clear food waste baseline and an ambition to reduce by 10, 20, 30%, 50% our food waste. And working with artificial intelligence tools such as Food Soon, we know Obrisk, and we are rolling them out everywhere. We are working on carbon neutrality, measuring our carbon footprint, teaching our teams how to measure and to reduce it. CSR is also about diversity, promoting diverse profiles at leadership level, like women getting GM. So we moved from 24% of GMs being women to now already 29%, and it's just the beginning. And last but not least, I think we should really give back to communities, like stop having hotels which are bidding hearts of their neighborhood, but mostly perceived as predatory, taking resources. I want our hotels to give back, giving back to NGOs, providing jobs, providing business to local, people and talents, valuing local and products. There is a kind of sustainable, healthy interaction, which would be part of our luxury CSR promise. We have very strong KPIs. Our bonuses are incentivized on these CSR KPIs. And so, yes, I'm super excited about leading the way of a luxury, which is not just beautiful and inspirational, but also sustainable and committed.
Fantastic, Maud. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.